Back to the channel. It's your boy Flippin' Stoop. Another disturbing video start. It didn't. My phone's funny. Anyways, what I wanted to get into right off the bat today is first of all, sorry about the late video. We had a whole line of appointments we had to get through today, so I'm starting on a little late, but I'm still going to get two up. And this topic is going to be over eBay becomes a lifestyle. Whether you're aware of that or not yet. If you've been reselling for 6 months to a year, maybe even a few months, you might start realizing that reselling becomes a lifestyle. It's like anything else, like your job. If you're a nurse, it becomes a lifestyle, right? If you're a construction worker, it becomes a lifestyle. If you exercise, that becomes a lifestyle. I was thinking when I used to exercise years ago, I'm like, cool, I'm going to be able to get bulked up and ripped up in 90 days to 6 months, and then I'm just not going to have to do anything anymore, and then I'm still going to look that way. Absolutely wrong was I ever. And it goes the same with eBay. I'm going to go off into that a little bit. Like, I think people think they're going to hit a certain amount of inventory in their store, and you can do that and just maintain. You can do that. But it becomes a lifestyle, right? If you list 10,000 items and you just stop listing, eventually you're going to stop getting sales. That's not the way the system's set up, right? You're going to stop getting results. So how many ever items you were listing a day to get to them 10,000 items, if you just stop, you may have sales for some months on end, but eventually that's going to die out. So if you're new to reselling, you might realize when you're going into stores, you're looking at everything to see if you can make $1 on it, right? That becomes embedded in us. Us resellers, we have a different view when we're out shopping than your average person that just doesn't resell, right? Never heard of it, never got into it and flipping, right? I learned I love eBay's lifestyle. I love a lot of the processes now. In the beginning, did I like them all? Absolutely not. There was a bunch I didn't like listing. I hated listing. Right? Why did I dislike listing so much? Well, there's many reasons. But number one, I had to stand here for a while. Number two, I had to figure out a system. Number three, I didn't know how to list, so I sucked at it, right? And nobody likes doing what they suck at. I've never met anybody in my life that was like, yeah, I suck at this, but I just love to do it, right? So it's hard to learn to love it, and the way you learn to love it is get good at it, right? Zero down. If you're not the greatest lister, first of all, give yourself some credit, especially if you just started, but start focusing your energy there. Do it as often as you possibly can. So there's many different ways eBay has become a lifestyle to me, right? It actually, if I don't do it in a day, I feel guilty and I feel bad, and I feel like I let myself down and my family down, right? So it's kind of that lifestyle too, right? You get attached to it. Every time I go into a thrift store, even if it's for something for myself, I'm still looking for deals, right? I never ever go into any store anymore in my life, even a gas station. I'm like, I wonder if I can make $5 on that hat. I wonder if I can make $5 on that shirt. Matter of fact, I have bought shirts in a couple different Admiral gas stations that had cannabis logos on it. They were selling it for $5, turned around, flipped it for $20 on eBay, right? So your mind, it literally becomes a lifestyle. It really does. And the same goes for like exercising. You think you're just going to go to the gym and that's it, but it's got a lot to do with your nutrition, your water intake, how consistent you are. And the same goes for eBay, right? It's all a lifestyle. And I learned I liked the lifestyle of eBay. Have I had my times where I did not like it? Yeah. I've had a lot of them, right? I had a lot of times where I didn't like eBay. But if somebody told me today, if eBay messaged me, it was like, you can never sell on the platform again, I'd be like, there'd be a big empty void. I feel like there'd be a big empty void I'd have to fill. Like, it's a lot of my day that I do this, right? It's a lot of my week. It's a lot of my month. It's a lot of my year that I'm reselling on eBay. And that would be devastating if that was took from me, because we all have to feel like there's a purpose, right? So becoming a reseller in the beginning, it might not be a lifestyle to you because you don't even know what to look for. You haven't decided whether you're going to pick a niche or just sell everything. You don't even know how to list yet. But once you get all this stuff down, it becomes a system. And after you do it so many days in a row, so many years in a row, your brain is systematic to it, right? It is part of who you are, right? You are now officially a reseller. This is what you do. The great thing about the lifestyle is in my opinion, is the opportunities are endless in it. I don't care what anybody says, or if you doubt yourself or whatever, you're going to doubt yourself in the beginning. You're going to doubt yourself halfway through. You're going to doubt yourself where you're at today. I have doubt still to this day. I'm not a perfect angel when it comes to my doubt pattern. I deal with it. Whether I go vent and talk about it, but you're going to have ups and downs, right? Look, for an example, we'll use the gym analogy again. If you're going to the gym, do you think you're just from day 1 to day 365, you're going to make progress every single day you're in there? No, you're not. You're not going to see it fast enough, right? And you're probably not going to see your results fast enough on eBay. Now, can you make results in a pretty fast time on eBay? Yeah, I believe 100%. I don't think there's anywhere. I think if anybody don't know what they want to do, but they know they want to start a business somewhere, start reselling, man. It is like the fastest return on investment that I know of personally, that you can start with zero capital. Just go into your closet, go into your garage, go into your pole barn. Ask your family, hey, you got anything laying around you don't want? It's amazing, some of the resellers, what I found out, what they sell and how much margins they're making per year, right? It's ridiculous. And a lot of it is stuff, well, obviously, a lot of us go to the thrift store. That's all stuff people are going to throw away. If they weren't donating it, it would go to the waste, right? It would go to the waste. As a matter of fact, some of it does, right? The stuff that don't sell eventually winds up in landfills, or they donate them to a different country. Good thrift stores will do that, right? Other thrift stores are like, fuck this shit, it's not going to sell. What are you going to do with it, right? I don't know how to solve that neither. But the truth is, it's a lifestyle. I learned to love it. I hope you guys love it. And if you don't right now, give it more time, right? You're not going to love every process. Like, you might have picked a career, say, as a nurse, right? Because it's high in demand and it pays well. And you pick that, and throughout the first few years, you love it. And then you start realizing what you got to deal with becoming a nurse. The reason I know some of this stuff is my sister's a nurse. Not saying she don't love her job or whatever, but I'm just saying, you realize that, oh, wow, everybody I'm dealing with is not feeling good. So that is going to be tough, right? Everybody you're dealing with, they're not feeling good in the hospital, right? People don't go to the hospital because they're feeling 100. And I don't know anybody that goes to the hospital that's feeling 100, unless it's like an annual checkup or whatever like that, right? So, and then that sits in your gut like, wow, I got to do this for the next 30 years before I retire. And there's some depressing points of that or whatever, or might be, right? So the same goes for reselling. Like it's going to be a roller coaster for a while. And I think it'll always be a roller coaster, regardless how good you get. There's a guy I listened to, oh gosh, brain fart, guys, sorry. But he basically states that everybody's life has seasons. And I'm not talking about the 4 seasons we have here in Michigan. Spring, fall, winter, right? But you could use the analogy of winter, right? Because a lot of people don't like the winter that much or whatever. Some love it, but, some don't. You're always regardless how good your life's going or how good your eBay journey is going, there is a storm on the way. He words it like this. You are either just coming out of a storm, headed into a storm, or you're in a storm, right? That is basically how he summed it up, and it is so true. Like, okay, everything in your life's going super great right now. Everything in your reselling journey is going super great. You're getting consistent numbers, everything. Eventually, a hiccup's going to come, right? It's just life in general, right? Your life's going good. You're meeting all your bills on time. Everything's gravy, and then your brakes go out on your car, right? Set you back. Your transmission drops out of your car. They hike up the rent, like they're doing ridiculously right now. And all the money you had saved up now has got to go to that, right? You're always going to go into a storm, and you're always going to go into a storm, or you're going to be in a storm, or you're going to be coming out of a storm throughout the reselling journey. If you can learn to grow in them processes right there, I'm a firm believer. If you can learn to grow throughout those storms, you'll learn to weather the storm, and you'll take a negative situation, you turn it into a positive, and that's how you grow throughout reselling, right? I give the example of my inventory system a lot because it took me actually more than 365 days to figure out my inventory system. And no, I did not sit down and write shit down for 365 days. I tried a system. It was fairly okay, but I still couldn't find certain items, and I was getting pissed down here and throwing a fit, right? And I had to cancel a lot of items, which lowered my top-rated seller, so I had to build that back up. But I also had to build an inventory system and a return system that would actually work, right? And it took me time. It took me a whole lot of different processes to figure that out. I told all you guys in the group that I started with 3 boxes for women and 3 boxes for men. And it literally said small, medium, large on the box. And I would just toss the shirt or toss the pair of pants in that box. It was ridiculous, right? So that's why I started to all the way now to a poly bag with a custom SKU on it from start to finish. That's how I did it. I didn't used to do it start to finish. I used to take my photo. I'd take one set of photos. I'd list the item. Then I'd stack that item over here. And I'd do that with all my items. Then at the end of the night, I'd go back into my computer system, make up a custom SKU, and then come back and package up my items. Oh my God, it took an extra 2 to 3 hours that I did not have to do. I could have just, until, a while back ago, I was able to finally make up a system that from start to finish, other than the photos, I do all my photos first. And then when I'm listing, by the time I'm done listing an item, it is in a poly bag such as yay, right? And a custom SKU, which is on a box right above us here, which is on a box right here. And that lets me know where the items are, right? But something so simple, right? Maybe you're great at inventory systems and thinking like that. So that's super rad for you because you might not have to go through that. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking list. And I wasn't thinking, okay, what's going to happen when an item sells? And it takes me 6 hours to find the item in the basement. Right? Or I don't find the item. So it was chaotic. I mean, you can ask my family. You can ask my fiance. She'll tell you there's many times I've been down here. Cuss words are flying, and I'm very upset, and it's irritating, right? But finally, I took the time to make an inventory system out. That was a storm. It's just an example of a storm that I went through. That storm has resolved, and I'm not saying it couldn't be a little bit better, right? There's some things I talked about, the slider runners that people are putting up in their garage now. They're like 2 little rails, and you can slide the totes above you all the way across the ceiling. I'm like, ingenious idea. Matter of fact, my fiance showed me that. It was a TikTok reel or whatever, or a Facebook reel, whatever, which one it was, right? And this guy was like, he was showing how it was done. It's very easily assembled. They run right across your trusses or your drywall or whatever, right? And then you can just take your little plastic totes, such as these, and slide them right up on these racks. And I'm like, oh my God, I could probably double the inventory where I'm working at, hence the fact that you see some pipes and stuff like that. So, I mean, you couldn't do that. But I could even do it in the garage, so it's up above, you know what I mean? And it's little things like that that make the biggest difference in your journey. But it is literally a lifestyle. And the reason I say that is, subconsciously, I like to say subconsciously, because consciously thinking, I think I'm so used to looking for deals. I'm so used to looking for inventory. I'm so used to listing items. I'm so used to packaging items. I don't even really have to subconsciously or consciously be like, okay, this has got to be done. It's just a system now. So I'm on automatic when I wake up. I do my gratitude list, go get the coffee, come back home. The second I get home, I'm on the phone. Well, after I get my fiance her coffee, I'm on the phone sending my offers. It's not like I got to look at a checklist to know I got to do that anymore. I know it's got to be done. So I answer my offers, I accept or I counter offer, and then I send all my offers. And then right after that, I'm down packaging items. You know what I mean? It's just a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. And if you don't give up on this lifestyle, the problem is like healthy lifestyles, a lot of times people give up on. For example, exercising. I've done this probably, oh, good Lord, since I was a young kid with my buddy. Me and my buddy worked out all the time in the garage. We would start up for 90 days, start getting some results, and quit, right? Get lazy and then do this and do that. And I did that all throughout my life, right? Instead of making it a lifestyle, I was just like, okay, this is something I'm going to do for 6 months. And then I would quit and I would lose all the results, right? And I'd go back to the old lifestyle. So the greatest thing about eBay being a lifestyle is it's a choice. And anybody can make it happen. Right? And I preach that through and through, throughout my video content, throughout the YouTube content, that your success on eBay is seriously, it's a choice. And the reason I say that is because there ain't one reseller that ever started and that is successful today, right? And it doesn't matter what your success level is. If you want to make $20,000 a year on eBay and you make it, you're successful. If you want to make $5,000 a year on eBay extra just to take a vacation and you hit that marker, you're successful to me. right? It doesn't matter your number. You don't got to be hitting 6 figures a year to be successful. That'd be batshit crazy. There's plenty of people making $45,000, $50,000 a year, $35,000 a year that are the happiest people in the world. Don't predicate your income around your happiness. For sure, don't do that, right? But it is literally a choice, and I know that because there's been many a times I wanted to quit, but I didn't allow that choice to set in, right? And that's the only reason I'm able to do it full time now. Because I could have easily said, you know what, I'm not going to make, I don't want this lifestyle anymore. I'm not going to do this shit anymore, and I'm going to throw it. And I've said that out of my mouth numerous times. I'm done with reselling, right? My fiance is like, really? You put a lot of work into that. Is that what you really want to do? Why don't you sleep on that for the night, right? And of course, I slept on it for the night. Next morning, I'm like, yeah, I put way too much energy into this to walk away now, right? Us resellers, whether you know it or not, you're putting yourself through some mental strain. Some stress, some struggles, man. You're putting yourself through this. You may as well, if you have done it for a while, right, and you've been doing this, or even a few months, you went through some mental pain, right? Maybe not some physical, I don't know, right? But you went through some mental pain. So my strong belief is you may as well get something out of that mental pain. And the only thing you're going to get out of that mental pain if you quit is more mental pain. Right? It's just going to cause you to get more mental pain. Now you're going to feel like, yep, I'm a failure. I suck. I should have never even got started. And then 10 years down the road, you're going to see some video with somebody that started the same time you did, and they're way to hell. They're doing amazing, unbelievable, right? I'm not saying it's going to take you 10 years to get your goal. That was just an example. So yeah, eBay's a lifestyle, guys. What choice? I want to hear everybody's choice. You're going to ride out the lifestyle? Is this the lifestyle you want to choose, right? And it don't have to be the lifestyle you want for the rest of your life. I know plenty of people that started reselling to make up enough capital to start another business. It's a really good launch program. You could literally start in your closet and start flipping stuff, learning how money works, learning how you turn $10 into $30 and $30 into $3,000, and you just keep going and doing that. And then whatever other business you have in mind down the road, this can give you the capital to do that. So it's your boy Flippin' Stoop. You guys have a rockin' evening.